Hello dear watercolorists, and thank you so much for watching another video here on oceanSpice. This time we're gonna be doing a Moonlight baby owls on a branch, and hopefully you guys enjoy painting this with me, and let's get started. To create the shape of the moon, I'm gonna use some of the tools I have in my kitchen. It's a salad bowl because I don't have a compass and I just put it off, and I keep using tools from my kitchen, and I think this just is perfect. So after I made the shape of the moon, I'm drawing a branch, and for that it's very important to not make a straight line. If you want it to look more natural and organic looking, try not to make straight lines or half circles. Just go very like your hand is not steady. And where you connect the branches, where you start to split, don't start from the same angle, offset them a little to look more realistic. I also finished drawing the baby owls, and I made this small sketch and a value study, see what colors I should combine. You can pause the video here and see what colors work with what you already have. Just try to get as close as possible. It's not mandatory to have these. And now I laid them out. I used tubes and I squeezed a little on my palette, and I'm trying to get a very dark value here, so I'm almost putting the color straight from the tube, as you can see. What I'm using here is a 1/4 inch with the pointy tip. It's called striper, not stripper, striper. It's a silver black velvet brush. This one is my favorite because it allows me to go as narrow as I want to a very pointy tip, so I can use it in various combinations. It's very versatile. Now once you get close to the circle where you have your moon drawn in, it's best to make it look like a gradient, so add more water as you get close, and don't add any more paint. Now once your layer is dry or almost dry, I like to go with a brush that is damp and just go on top and like brush gently so I can get this soft effect. I'm trying to make the moon like it's glowing and kind of like merging with the sky around. Now as we get close on the texture of the paper, we can see the manganese is so granulated that it just sinks into the paper where the dips are, and I sometimes want that effect and sometimes I don't, and that is why it's always a good idea to swatch your colors before, or even make a small sketch, a study before you start your big painting, because all these small differences you're gonna be able to see what happens and how to change it. You can always make 2 or 3 versions of the small sketch, but it's gonna be very frustrating to redo the whole painting. Trust me, I've done that before. It's not fun. By the time you get to the second one, you already feel frustrated. So always swatch little. Don't go jumping in without a little prep. It takes 2 minutes to make a small sketch. It's really worth it. Now with the moon, I'm starting with the combination of the orange and the yellow I've selected. As I go closer to the center of the moon, I'm trying to leave some of the white of the paper, and note that the Naples yellow, it's going to be on the edge, and the more intense cadmium yellow I'm putting in the middle, so it looks like it's glowing. You can use here more yellows or more brown tones depending on how scary you want the moon to look and how much contrast you like to have with the sky. I personally, I'm trying to make a transition from more faded colors and more like muddy-ish towards bright, and trying to use the color straight from the tube sometimes to get that vibrancy. And I think the contrast between yellow and purple is very pleasant for the eye, and so I'm just gonna go with it. And as you can see, my moon is still very dim. It's not intense, it's not dark enough. So once this layer is completely dry, I'm gonna add another one to make it more deep color. But for the branches, I'm combining the sepia brown with burnt sienna, and this is gonna be a medium tone-ish, so I'm leaving some of the white of the paper. And change the brush note that I am using a mop brush from Da Vinci. This one, I think, if I recall correctly, this is squirrel hair, and it works so well. It holds a lot of water and pigment, and once you brush it along the paper, it will gently touch it. It will not go into the dimples. As you can see on my swatch paper, it just makes a very nice brush effect. So I'm doing that, and then every time you're gonna put a darker layer, it's good to wait until everything is perfectly dry, so you don't get a mix and you have a lot of texture. Now as I'm going darker, I'm adding more and more sepia to make it more deep, and also a little bit of ivory black for the darkest, absolute darkest parts of the branch. I'm testing constantly on the swatch paper, and even if you're doing this exercise with your kids at home, just try to get them used to different techniques in watercolor. And one of them is this the dry brush effect, which is very fun, and it will just change your painting dramatically. Now I am wetting all the surface where the owls are, and don't worry about the details now. Just don't put too much water, just a little bit. Remember, the more water you have, the harder it is to control your color in. So just try to put a little bit and then add the layers. It's always good to start with lighter, let the layer dry, and then add more pigment. Now I worked on the heads and a little bit on the wings, and I'm letting that dry. In the meantime, I can proceed switching to the other brush and just drawing the legs. You can add 2 layers here. It's gonna give more depth. If you don't, you can just put 1 layer and that's fine. Now I moved on and did the eyes and the beak, and a little bit of splashes on top of the moon with the remaining colors I had, which are that chromium orange, the Naples yellow, and cadmium yellow. I'm using that. For that, I'm using either hard brush or a toothbrush. That works fine. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it and had fun painting this cute painting with me, and frame it up, put it in your house, and let me know what were the challenges you found with this painting and how it turned out. I hope you guys liked it, and if you do, if you want to see more videos like this one, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Happy Halloween. Bye bye.